What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'll be just pretty much doing a product review on the Auto Sports Engineering triple pump fuel hanger for the Sc300. The reason why I'm making this video is pretty much to give guys, you ladies and gentlemen out there, a little bit more insight on the product, so that way you can actually know if you want to even deal with the product or invest your money in this product. So we're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. I'm gonna show you how to assemble the fuel pump assembly. We're gonna drop one of my 525 fuel pumps in there. I am running dual 525 fuel pumps. It can take 3 fuel pumps because it's a triple pump hanger, but in my case, I'm only running 2 on my build. Actually sitting inside the fuel tank. If you see right here, I have my fuel tank out the car so we can actually get a good look, see how these fuel pumps are actually gonna sit down in the tank. Let's go ahead and jump right into it and give you guys a look, see the product. Alright guys, so I already opened the box because I wanted to double check and make sure I have everything before I proceeded with installing this into my fuel tank. So let's get into it. This is the actual hanger that the fuel pump sit in. This is this is the cap for the fuel tank. I mean, all the regular holes line up with it, and I can show you. All the other holes, you know, all the bolt holes line up perfectly. This is the return line. It drops straight down into the bottom of the fuel tank, and this is the feed lines for your 3 hangers, your 3 fuel pumps. Comes with everything you need, minus the wiring, which is cool because you can just go to Auto Parts store and buy your own wiring. These are the hoses for the pumps. These are the fittings, and these are your actual wire connectors for your wiring. So in my case, I'm only running 2 fuel pumps, 2 525 fuel pumps. It comes with all the fittings. I would advise you to put some type of thread lock or some type of deal on these fittings before you actually twist them in, so that way you get a good seal on here. Even though it's in a tank, you don't want one of these to be leaking and you losing fuel pressure because the fuel is just dropping back into the fuel tank. In my case, I'm running 2 fuel pumps, so it comes with a fitting to block it off, block one off. So I would just block, say, this center one off, tighten it up, and be done with it, which is cool. And like I said, it comes with everything you need, minus the actual wiring to wire the pumps up, which is okay. And the real reason why I went with this is mainly because my old fuel pump hanger was already compromised. My old fuel tank already had a hole in it previously, and I patched it. And running ethanol, I didn't want a patched and glued fuel tank, let's just say that. So that's why we have the spare tank that has no issues with it at all. This is my old fuel pump hanger. The reason why I have my wires going straight into the tank, mainly because my old harness burnt up. So if you're running anything, I think over like 400 series fuel pump, you need a relay. You really need a relay because those pumps draw a lot of power, and you will set your car on fire because you set your harness on fire. That's just how it goes. I usually use the 5-pin relays, but I don't use the center relay. I mean the center wire for it, the center pin. So that's cool. Works for me. Let's go ahead. Let's drop one of my fuel pumps in here. Well, drop both of my fuel pumps in here, and we'll sit it inside the spare tank, and I give you guys a look, see inside the tank of how these things actually sit. Gonna be this way. It has a hex key on the side. That way you just tighten this down. You just want to snug it. You don't want to put too much pressure on your fuel pump because you will run a chance of damaging your fuel pump. So I probably would just run mine sideways like this, and I will run my other one with the feed hose on this side just because I think that's how it's supposed to go. It doesn't come with directions. So let's go ahead. We're gonna tighten this up, and we're gonna drop it inside the spare fuel tank, y'all. And this is a 2mm Allen key. So what I do is just twist it into the snug. That's it. That's all you need. Right there. That's perfect. So let's go ahead. It's all tightened down. Let's go ahead and install this inside the new fuel tank and see how it sits. All right, guys. This is a Sc300 Sc400 fuel tank. As far as the original feed lines and return line that sits on the bottom, I stuffed 2 bolts in it. You can't see it. I stuffed 2 bolts in the bottom that you see right there and welded those in. So we're not running the stock fuel hoses at all, because with this aftermarket fuel pump hanger, your preferred return hose size and feed hose sizes. So you won't be running your OEM hoses anymore. So you have to do away with those some type way. However way you choose to do it, that's the way you do it. This is the way I did it. I just capped off my old feed and return hoses, and then it's a vent on this side. You need to leave this open, which is that hole right there. So this right here is actually, this right here is the return hose. So I'm gonna just bend this out the way some type. I gotta bend this out the way some type way. And the feed hose is right here. I capped that off and welded that closed. So that we got that confusing part out the way, let's go ahead and get this thing installed, and I can show you how it sits in the tank. All right, so what you're actually looking at now, I'm sticking my hand through the part where the fuel pumps go in and the hanger, so they will actually sit down in this. So I'll go ahead and insert that in. As far as having 3 pumps on here, I can already see it's going to be a problem with getting this thing installed. Because if you look here, look at that. So this is just with 1 pump. So I don't know if I'm going to have to, okay. We're going to try it with 2 pumps once I get it out to the car. But as you see, 1 pump definitely works. So let's go into the inside. Don't mind the wire harness that's just hanging. Okay, and it's not touching the bottom at all. You can't really see it. So that's actually perfect. So my main question has been answered. I don't know about you guys, but so it actually comes with these 2 hardware bolts. So let's see if I can get you guys a look-see different angle. Not sure if I can. Let me see. That's a little bit of a better angle, but I'm gonna see if I can move it around. So it's tons of space as far as not bottoming out, which is definitely a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. As far as this wiring, this probably won't go anywhere near. Oh, it probably will go close to the field. Let's see. Seeing here, off, you would just straight plug this directly into it, and it snaps in. Let's see if I can get the snap now. That's good enough for me. And it comes out a decent amount, so you can wire it up. So this actually connects here. Connects, slide that in, lock it in place. So in our reality, this should do pretty good. Because you don't need this to come crazy far out. Enough, you know, just need to come out enough so that way you can just undo it from the cap. So if you look, that's more than enough space. I'm holding it with my hand, but it's more than enough space for it to work. And the hoses are actually more than long enough for it to pull out. What's going on with it? All right, guys. So we actually ran into our first issue with the fuel pump hanger. The bolts, the OEM bolts, are too short to fit through the hanger, the gasket, and into the actual tank. They're just too short. They're way too short. Like you can see here. So way too short. See, there's no way possible that's gonna fit, which is not a problem. I can just run to the hardware store and get bolts. Other than that, it should work because I had to shave the stud down. So it's actually working now as far as fitting, which is cool. I just gotta go and get studs. All right, guys, so we are on the wiring the fuel pump phase now. I'm pretty much pinning the fuel pumps in. I went to the local auto parts store and I got the right bolts. So that way we can actually bolt the cap onto the fuel tank. They are a little bit longer. I just had to shave a little bit down. But the thread pitch are perfect, so that's what we're gonna go with. As far as the fuel pumps, like I said, I only had 2. It's totally up to you. They do sell slimmer fuel pump filters. These are just the ones that I had. They came with the kit, and you look, they're enormous, but I mean, it works. For 2 fuel pumps, as you see, with 3 fuel pumps, you probably had to like angle them so that way that, you know, the filters would go opposite directions. But for me, this works perfect. So this would be my primary pump. This will be running as I'm cruising around. This one would cut on at probably like 20 psi. I would have to double check with my tuner, but they both won't be on constantly. So one would actually cut on as like a switch when it gets to a certain psi boost. As far as wiring goes, so you know, both pumps have power and ground. So my power sources would go to two different relays. My ground source is going to go to one ground, but I want my grounds to be separated inside the tank too. So if I have to change this one, which most likely going to be this one first, because this is a used pump, my old pump. So this one is most likely going to go out before this one. So that way, you know, I could just take the cap off, disconnect it, and you know, just depend it from that way, and probably make it a little easy. Not sure yet. All right, guys. So we actually have the fuel pump hanger and the fuel pump cap installed. It's looking really good, but it's actually looking bad because the tank is just nasty looking. I should have probably like sprayed the tank or something, but it is what it is. So I give you guys a look-see of what we got going on, and let you know what's after this. So this is the part where you fill it, the filler neck goes. This is for the vent that connects to the filler neck. I have all that right there. So it's actually on, it's bolted on, the snug. I honestly don't see this thing leaking. So we have two 8N feed lines. I am going to probably delete this one and run my feed line, my 8N feed line, just into the trunk part and down through the floor. This is a 6 a.m. return, which I have on the car already, which is dope. So I might have to put like a 90-degree on here. I'm not 100% sure how this is actually going to sit. And this part I didn't even know of. So this is a lock ring around this. So you can actually twist this on whichever way you want your wires facing. So mine would be either contoured this way or pointed upward, because my wiring is going to run up into the trunk. So right now this might just be here, just, you know, it's temporary as far as how that's set up. As far as the bolt wires go, it's snug. It looks good, but like I said, my tank just looks nasty. It's dirty looking. The inside is clean, so that's what really matters. So all in all, it was a decent install. It wasn't too hard. Like I said, Powerhouse Racing does make a triple fuel pump hanger. This is the Auto Sports Engineering brand. Like I said, I bought this mainly because my fuel cap was actually compromised and my fuel tank was compromised. So this right here was the better bet for me. On top of, I'm going to be running two fuel pumps anyway. I was going to modify the stock hanger, you know, backyardian style, but I mean, I just dropped the extra couple dollars, just got something that looks nice, is installed. I honestly don't see anything going wrong with this so far. Not sure if I mentioned it, but you do not have to pull the gas tank out to install this. I just pulled it out, like I said, because my old fuel tank was compromised. So yeah, guys, all in all, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. I'll probably get this fuel tank installed within the next day or two. I'm not 100% sure. It's a little later on in the day now. Just took a little while because I had to run to the store like 2 times. So yeah, guys, until next time, thanks everybody for watching the channel. Thanks everybody for keeping up. Yeah, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.